Hey guys, welcome back to Shayloss Shay Answers with Shay and his flabbly belly. I still got a little flab in here. You gotta have a little flab, right? You can't just be like ripped, toned, stone dude all the time. You gotta have a little loving to you. You gotta have a little, stuff to wrap your arms around. That's what Mommy Tart says. She likes to wrap her arms around me. And there's no more flowers for me to rip off the bushes anymore. Kaylee threatened to cut my arm off if I touched any more of them, so I'm not gonna. One thing I wanna say at the top of today's episode is thank you for sending in those before and after pictures. I know it's hard, it's difficult to expose your naked body like that. But for all of you guys who have done it and lost weight, and to see those before and after pictures are inspiring. I feel motivated, and I know that you guys are motivating other people who are watching these videos. So keep them coming in. I love, like I said, I'm addicted to those before and after pictures. I love seeing them. So all of those of you that we used, I sincerely thank you for sending those in and having the courage to lose weight and to get on this journey with us, all right? So let's go to the first question. Sorcery1979 asks, Shay, you said not to use protein powder. So what is it that you put in your morning milkshake? Okay, so I saw a lot of comments last week about the protein powder. Protein powder has never, raised such a great debate. I realize that I have used protein powder in the past. I used to also eat cheeseburgers and 40 ounces of Coke before noon, okay? I don't think you should use protein powder. I've used it in the past to help, to get some more protein. But I've really started to learn that our bodies don't need as much protein as we think they do. This guy can run 100 miles at one time. He does these things called ultra marathons, and he's a fruitarian. All he eats is fruit. And this guy can run 100 miles under 24 hours. Some of you couldn't even stand to drive that long in your car, and this dude his body can run 100 miles in under 24 hours, and all he eats is fruit. It might be hard at first, and you might go through some withdrawals because your body has a lot of stuff that you've been putting into it. When I first started, it was very difficult. I felt crappy. I felt, dizzy at sometimes. I felt like I had headaches. I felt nauseous. I felt sore. Listen, this losing weight thing isn't easy. So if you're thinking like, oh, Shay says you feel great if you just do all this stuff, it's not gonna be easy at first. You have to know that. When you begin, it's gonna be difficult. You should expect hardships and discouragement and soreness and headaches. As your body is kind of going through a detox process, that will happen. Now, I feel amazing. I feel like I'm thriving, and I have to eat a lot less food, and I feel way better. When I got started, I'm the kind of person that's I had to lose a lot of weight fast, or I would lose that motivation. The more fruits and vegetables and water and exercise that you can squeeze into your life, the better you're gonna feel. And you don't need the protein. You don't need as much protein powder and meat as you think you do. You'd be surprised. Look at this dude. He can run 100 miles. How many of you that eat protein and meat every day can run 100 miles? I bet you none of you can. Back to the YouTube comments. HeartX3 Jess asks, Shay, I can't seem to stick with an exercise routine. I do really well for a few weeks and then seem to get discouraged and stop. I know that you used to have the same problem. How do you finally stick to it? I would say, 80% of weight loss isn't the knowledge of how to lose weight, it's just the motivation to do it. And that is one of the greatest secrets of all. How do you find that motivation? Where does that come from? How do you get that commitment to finally say enough is enough? Where do you, finally get that mighty change of heart that's like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and I'm gonna change my life? I don't know. It's different for everybody. For me, it was a lot of different things. The weight loss crew doing those weigh-ins every Tuesday helped me. Music helps, watching videos helps. One thing to stick with a weight loss program or to stick with an exercise plan is to have a schedule. Begin with the end in mind, if you will. Put out your exercise clothes in the morning. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like exercising. Here's what I say to myself. I say, okay, I knew I planned on exercising today. I don't feel like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna exercise. I'm just gonna go for a little walk, and I'll put all my exercise clothes on, I'll get my music, and I'm just gonna go out for a nice walk and maybe check some emails and maybe listen to a book on tape. And then when I get outside, it's like you have to trick yourself almost. I'll get outside and I'll walk and be like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can maybe just jog a little bit. And then you start jogging a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling good. And then you end up, going on a longer run. And then by the time you come back, you're like, wow, I just had a great workout and I woke up and I didn't feel like doing it at all. Set yourself up for success. Get your clothes out the night before, lay them out there, have an iPod. If you can have some music, that helps. A lot of people were asking like what I think about on my runs. I'll think about like stories or like, videos I want to make, or I'll listen to books. I really love listening to books while I'm running, or just find some motivational music. You would be shocked at how much music can help. Sit down and take some time and make a playlist, make an exercise playlist. You have some songs that you like, find those songs and put them on a playlist and get that music. That music will help you a ton. Right when you wake up, say you don't feel like working out, just put that music in. Put that music in your ears and see how you feel. You kind of got to trick your body into doing it. But the secret is overcoming the desire not to work out. And however you do it, talk amongst each other, encourage each other, find little groups of people who are losing weight and talk to each other in the comments below. Check out the video responses, make video responses to each other. You guys can also have your own little weight loss competitions. Find some people here in the Shayloss community and say, hey, my name's Greg. Oh, hi, Greg, my name's Nancy. Hi, Nancy, you're pretty, or whatever. Get together. You guys can talk amongst each other, support each other and lift each other up in the tweets, and ask each other how they're doing it and how they're motivating each other. Even if you guys, are across the country, you still have an internet connection, obviously, because you're watching this video. What if you said, okay, we're starting a weight loss crew of us and these people, you guys can, work within yourselves, and sometimes you need that motivation, or you need other people with you to, to help motivate you. Amarama Chirandrintro asks, are you guys purposely making these usernames so hard on purpose to get to me? Shay, I'm worried about my mother's health. She has become unhealthy because of her weight and doesn't seem to care. Any advice on how to motivate her? The best way to motivate other people is by example. If you're sitting there, yelling at your mom, you're fat, you need to lose weight, you need to get up and eat healthy, what's the first thing anybody's gonna do? They're gonna say no. Anytime somebody is judged or feels like they're being told what to do, our initial reactions as humans is to put our guard up and be like, I know, I'm not listening to you. The best way you can help and motivate others is by changing yourself. And then people will see your transformation and how you feel, and then they'll be motivated to have that in their life. Don't, go and ridicule people into trying to look and feel better. Be an example, and then naturally they'll probably follow you on that path. Going to the tweetsters, Amy Foster asks, Shay, did you ever have any off days where you completely lacked motivation? What did you do to get over it? Smiley face X. Great question, great question. Every day. Listen, like I said at the first, this thing is not easy. You gotta know that. You have to have that in your mind. Losing all that weight, it took a lot of time to put all that poundage on me. I remember, I've lost 115 pounds to date right now. It took me a couple of years to put all that weight on me. It took a lot of this to get to there, and it's gonna take a lot of hard work and time to get to here. So know that from the beginning. Say to yourself, this is gonna be hard. I'm not gonna be motivated. I'm not gonna feel like doing this. And know that ahead of time so that you can fight against it. At the end of the day, you have to choose for yourself. I can get up here and I can give you motivational speeches and tell you to listen to this music and watch this video and do this exercise routine and eat this food. But at the end of the day, you are in charge of your life. Sometimes this body that we have, this flesh, it's gonna fight with you. It's gonna fight with your brain, with the person that's inside of you. And you have to fight back. It's a war. It's a real war to say, no, I'm not gonna have that, and I'm not gonna let that temptation get to me. So say you have a drinking issue. Like a lot of people, drinking can add a lot of weight. So if you're gonna take something out of your life, you have to replace it with something good. And it's okay to feel tempted to have those things again, because that's gonna come. You're gonna see a beer or a cake or a candy bar or whatever it is and say, oh man, I would sure like to have that right now. But the key phrase you need to say to yourself is, it's just not worth it to me anymore. Oh man, it would sure be great to have that cheeseburger right now, but it's just not worth it to me anymore. You've tried going down the path of eating bad and not working out. Where has it led you? It's led you to this unhappy, unhealthy, state. Remember that statement. It really helps. Man, it would sure be nice to have a whatever it is right now, but it's just not worth it to me anymore. All right, now we're gonna go to the computer, to the YouTube video responses. We got a video response today from Baseball BK30. Looks like a cool bro. Let's check out what he has to say.
My name is Brian. I'm 24 years old. I live in Southern California, and I am trying to do a weight loss vlog of my own. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds. My main goal is to lose that 100 pounds and to run a marathon with you, Mr. Shay. My question for you is, what is the biggest obstacle you had to overcome to lose your weight and, you know, get your motivation going? You started the Shayloss channel, kind of stopped for a while, and then you got started again. So I wanted to know what got you past that point and what helped you get your second wind.
Well, I would love and be honored to be running a marathon with you, sir. It was those weigh-ins, you know, and 100,000 people that were keeping me accountable on YouTube. And now I know that seems unfair because a lot of you don't have that. A lot of people yelling at you, calling you fat lard every day. That helped me, you know, and knowing that I had to stand on that scale every day. That's kind of what started me, you know, back on the path. But here's one thing that I can tell you, that if you realize this, it will help you. Give yourself time. It's gonna be a long time. And I think that's kind of what happened to me, is I would start and I would be like, okay, here we go. 20 days raw, nothing but raw foods. We're gonna go 20 days hard. And I would hit it hard and I'd do those 20 days raw, and I lost 20 pounds. You can go back from old Shayloss videos. I lost 20 pounds in 20 days from only eating raw foods for 20 days. And then I fell off the bandwagon because it was too hard. I was just like, oh, it was exhausting. I didn't give myself the proper time. You know, how long has it been? It's been almost a year for me to get down to 115 pounds. It takes time to be successful at anything, especially with losing weight. You gotta be patient. You gotta stack those workouts on top of each other. If you say, okay, this is gonna be a long, hard journey with a lot of pitfalls, but I'm gonna make it. And at the end of that journey, you're gonna look back and say, that wasn't so bad. You're gonna have those days that you hate me. Screw Shay, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is dumb, I'm not doing this. Those times are gonna happen. You have to know that. You have to start with the end in mind. You have to know that all that's gonna happen. And then give yourself that time and the energy and just push through and keep going. All right, thank you guys so much. And now it's my favorite part of all of Shayloss. We're gonna see your pictures. All right, roll them. All right, guys, thanks again for joining us on Shay Answers right here at Shayloss. Keep those questions and pictures coming in. And check out our new end slate. Here it is, Blake built it. Look at all the cool stuff you can click on. Leave your pictures out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll see them. Just send them in and hashtag Shayloss. That'll be a lot easier for us to find them if you guys leave a hashtag Shayloss right there. Blake will put it on the screen, and then we'll be able to find all your questions and be able to get them in for next week. Thank you guys once again, and listen, don't give up. Keep it up. You guys are gonna look and feel amazing. I know it. See you next week. Bye.